Hello students, welcome to the subject of Programs for Rural and Urban Development. As part of this, the next lesson is the Programs for Children. In this, let us try to understand the programs for children at national level and also comprehend the dimensions of each program for development of children. Children constitute vital assets of any country. Child development is very important for the overall development of society. The best way to develop national human resource is to take care of the children. India has the largest child population in the world. Maximum efforts are being made by the government for the development and welfare of children. Government and non-governmental or voluntary organizations are increasingly active during last few years in India to provide services which either reinforce, supplement or substitute the functions. Child protection systems are a set of usually government services designed to protect children and young people who are underage and to encourage family stability. While there is no universally agreed upon definition, UNICEF defines a child protection system as the set of laws, policies, regulations and services needed across all social sectors, especially social welfare, education, health, security and justice to support prevention and response to protection related risks. These systems are part of social protection and extend beyond it. At the level of prevention, their aim includes supporting and strengthening families to reduce social exclusion and to lower the risk of separation, violence and exploitation. Responsibilities are often spread across government agencies with services delivered by local authorities, non-state providers and community groups, making coordination between sectors and levels including routine referral systems a necessary component of effective child protection systems. The Ministry of Women and Child Development, a branch of the Government of India, is the apex body for formulation and administration of the rules and regulations and laws relating to women and child development in India. The ministry has 6 autonomous organizations working under its support for effective implementation of the programs. They are National Institute of Public Cooperation and Child Development, National Commission for Women, National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, Central Adoption Resource Agency, Central Social Welfare Board, Rashtriya Mahila Kosh. National Institute of Public Cooperation and Child Development and Rashtriya Mahila Kosh are societies registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860. Central Social Welfare Board is a charitable company registered under Section 25 of the Indian Companies Act 1956. These organizations are fully funded by the Government of India and they assist the department in its functions including implementation of some programs or schemes. The National Commission for Women was constituted as a national apex statutory body in 1992 for protecting and safeguarding the rights of women. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, which is a national level apex statutory body constituted in March 2007 for protecting and safeguarding the rights of children. Now let us see the programs for children. First, ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Services. Under this, first, supplementary nutrition. This includes supplementary feeding and growth monitoring and prophylaxis against vitamin A deficiency and control of nutritional anemia. All families in the country are surveyed to identify children below the age of 6, pregnant women and nursing mothers. They avail of supplementary feeding support for 300 days in a year. By providing supplementary feeding, the Anganwadi attempts to bridge the protein energy gap between the recommended dietary allowance and average dietary intake of children and women. Growth monitoring and nutritional surveillance are two important activities that are undertaken. Children below the age of 3 years of age are weighed once a month and children 3 to 6 years of age are weighed every quarter. Weight for age growth cards are maintained for all children below 6 years. This helps to detect growth faltering and helps in assessing nutritional status. Severely malnourished children are given special supplementary feeding and referred to health sub-centers, primary health centers as and when required. Let us see the supplementary nutrition norms. The effort is to provide on an average daily nutritional supplements to the extent indicated. The beneficiaries are the children below 3 years are given 300 calories and 8 to 10 grams of proteins. Children between 3 to 6 years are given 300 calories and 8 to 10 grams of proteins. Severely malnourished children on medical advice after health checkup are given double of the mentioned, that is 600 calories and 16 to 20 grams of proteins. Pregnant and lactating mothers are given 500 calories and 20 to 25 grams of proteins. Provisions regarding promotion of breastfeeding as recommended in infant and child feeding guidelines are relevant. Next, preschool education. This component for the 3 to 6 years old children in the Anganwadi is directed towards providing and ensuring a natural, joyful and stimulating environment with emphasis on necessary inputs for optimal growth and development. The early learning component of the ICDS is a significant input for providing a sound foundation for cumulative lifelong learning and development. It also contributes to the universalization of primary education by providing to the child the necessary preparation for primary schooling and offering substitute care to younger siblings, thus freeing the older ones, especially girls, to attend school. The next sub-scheme is immunization. Immunization of infants protects children from 6 vaccine preventable diseases such as poliomyelitis, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, tuberculosis and measles. These are major preventive causes of child mortality, disability, morbidity and related malnutrition. Immunization of pregnant women against tetanus also reduces maternal and neonatal mortality. This service is delivered by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare under its Reproductive Child Health Program. In addition, the iron and vitamin A supplementation to children and pregnant women is also done under the RCH program. Next is health checkups. This includes health care of children less than 6 years of age, antenatal care of expectant mothers and postnatal care of nursing mothers. These services are provided by the ANM, medical officers in charge of health sub-centers and primary health centers under the RCH program of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The various health services include regular health checkups, immunization, management of malnutrition, treatment of diarrhea, deworming and distribution of simple medicines, etc. Next is referral services. During health checkups and growth monitoring, sick or malnourished children in need of prompt medical attention are referred to the primary health center or its sub-center. The Anganwadi worker has also been oriented to detect disabilities in young children. She enlists all such cases and refers them to the ANM and medical officer in charge of the primary health center or sub-center. These cases referred by the Anganwadi worker are to be attended by health functionaries on priority basis. Next is nutrition and health education. Nutrition and health education is a key element of the work of the Anganwadi worker. This forms part of BCC, that is Behavior Change Communication Strategy. This has the long-term goal of capacity building of women, especially in the age group of 15 to 45 years, so that they can look after their own health, nutrition and development needs as well as that of their children and families. The next scheme is Rajiv Gandhi National Creche Scheme. The Indian Council for Child Welfare is one of the pioneer voluntary organization providing early childhood care through the creche program across the country for over 3 decades. The program was renamed by Government of India in 2006 as the Rajiv Gandhi National Creche Scheme for children of working mothers. Services of this scheme are: provides daycare services to children between 0 to 6 years of working mothers, holistic care for the physical, mental and emotional development of these children and delivers these services such as every creche cares for approximately 25 children. Each creche is managed by a creche worker and a helper. Supplementary nutrition, immunization and healthcare facilities, recreation, non-formal preschool education to children. At present, ICCW runs 5,303 creches across 31 states and union territories in the country. Through this program, ICCW covers tribal, rural and urban children across 449 districts. Next is Pulse Polio program. Pulse Polio immunization program was launched in India in 1995. Children in the age group of 0 to 5 years administered polio drops during national and subnational immunization rounds in high-risk areas every year. About 172 million children are immunized during each national immunization day. The last polio case in the country was reported from Howrah district of West Bengal with date of onset 13 January 2011. Thereafter, no polio case has been reported in the country, that is as per 25th May 2012. WHO on 24th February 2012 removed India from the list of countries with active endemic wild polio virus transmission. The objective of this program are: the Pulse Polio initiative was started with an objective of achieving 100% coverage under oral polio vaccine. It aimed to immunize children through improved social mobilization, plan mop-up operation in areas where polio virus has almost disappeared and maintain high level of morale among the public. The next program is Indradhanush. Mission Indradhanush was launched to speed up the process of immunization and to achieve full immunization coverage for all the children in the country by 2020. It has been reported that during the period between 2009 and 2013, the coverage of immunization in the country increased from 61 to 65%. This meant that there was an increase of only 1% immunization in each year during the last 7 years, which is very less considering the increase in population every year. Now, let us see the diseases that are to be covered under this scheme. The plan aims at providing immunization for 7 diseases which can be prevented by vaccination, such as whooping cough, hepatitis B, diphtheria, tetanus, polio, tuberculosis and measles. Process Mission Indradhanush covers 7 diseases like Indradhanush or rainbow that has 7 colors. The program will provide vaccination to children who are either not vaccinated at all or partially vaccinated against these 7 diseases. These diseases are dangerous and affect the lives of many children, but can be prevented by vaccination. The plan is to cover all children by 2020 and achieve full immunization. The program will be implemented phase wise, firstly covering those districts where half of the children are not vaccinated at all. Between January and June 2015, 4 special vaccination campaigns were conducted under the mission. The mission guidelines are: immunization will be speeded up and improved in all the districts that are to be covered. The immunization drive will emphasize on catch-up campaign, which means that all children who have missed vaccination or were left out will be targeted for immunization. The procedure used in the successful implementation of the Pulse Polio program will be applied in this mission. The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry will be supported by UNICEF, WHO, Rotary International and other donor partners for the successful implementation of the Indradhanush mission. The next is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, that is Education for All movement. It is a program for universal elementary education. This program is also an attempt to provide an opportunity for improving human capabilities to all children through provision of community-owned quality education in a mission mode. It is a response to the demand for quality basic education all over the country. It aimed at the universalization of elementary education in a time-bound manner as mandated by the 86th Amendment to the Constitution of India, making free and compulsory education to children between the ages of 16 to 14 years as a fundamental right. The program was pioneered by former Indian Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. As an intervention program, SSA has been operational since 2000 to 2001. However, its roots go back to 1993 to 1994 when the district primary education program was launched with an aim of achieving the objective of universal primary education. The main features of this scheme are: program with a clear time frame for universal elementary education, a response to the demand for quality basic education all over the country, an opportunity for promoting social justice through basic education, an expression of political will for universal elementary education across the country, a partnership between the central, state and the local government, an opportunity for states to develop their own vision of elementary education, an effort to effective involvement of the Panchayat Raj institutions, school management committees, village and urban slum level education committees, parent teacher associations, mother teacher associations, tribal autonomous councils and other grassroots level structures in the management of elementary schools. The aims are to provide useful and elementary education for all children in the 6 to 14 age group, to bridge social, regional and gender gaps with the active participation of community in the management of schools, to allow children to learn about and master their natural environment in order to develop their potential both spiritually and materially, to inculcate value based learning. This allows children to have an opportunity to work for each other's well being rather than to permit mere selfish pursuits, to realize the importance of early childhood care and education and looks at the 0 to 4 age as a continuum. Padhe Bharat. Padhe Bharat is a nationwide sub-program of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Children who fail to read in early education lag behind in other subjects. The program is designed to improve comprehensive early reading, writing and early mathematics program for children in classes 1st and 2nd. SSA interventions include opening of new schools, alternate schooling facilities, construction of schools and additional classrooms, toilets and drinking water, provisioning for teachers, regular teacher in service training and academic resource support, free textbooks and uniforms. The present goals are: the program seeks to open new schools in those habitations which do not have schooling facilities and strengthen existing school infrastructure through provision of additional classrooms, toilets, drinking water, maintenance grants and school improvement grants. Existing schools with inadequate teacher strength are provided with additional teachers, while the capacity of existing teachers is being strengthened by extensive training, grants for developing teaching, learning materials and strengthening of the academic support structure at a cluster, block and district level. To provide quality elementary education including life skills with a special focus on the education of girls and children with special needs as well as computer education. The next scheme is integrated program for street children. The integrated program for street children was started as initiatives to help children on the street to fulfill their rights. The program provides for shelter, nutrition, healthcare, education, recreation facilities to street children. It also seeks to protect them against abuse and exploitation. The program aims at building society's awareness of the rights of the child enshrined in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, that is CRC, and in the Juvenile Justice, that is Care and Protection of Children Act 2000. This can be achieved through capacities building of the government organizations, NGOs and the larger community these children live in. The target group of this program is children without homes and family ties, that is street children and children especially vulnerable to abuse and exploitation, such as children of sex workers and children of pavement dwellers. This scheme does not include children who live with families and in slum areas. State governments, union territory administrations, local bodies, educational institutions and voluntary organizations are eligible for financial assistance under this program. Up to 90% of the cost of the project is provided by the Government of India and remaining has to be borne by the organization or institution concerned under this integrated projects that can receive up to 1.5 million rupees per annum. The next scheme is Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya. The Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme was introduced by the Government of India in August 2004, then integrated in the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program to provide educational facilities for girls belonging to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, minority communities and families below the poverty line in educational backward blocks. Gender disparities still persist in rural areas and among disadvantaged communities. Looking at enrollment trends, there remain significant gaps in the enrollment of girls at the elementary level as compared to boys, especially at the upper primary levels. The objective of KGBV is to ensure that quality education is feasible and accessible to the girls of disadvantaged groups of society by setting up residential schools with boarding facilities at elementary level. The eligibility for this scheme is, the scheme was applicable since inception in 2004 in educationally backward blocks where the rural female literacy is below the national average and gender gap in literacy is more than the national average. Among these blocks, schools may be set up in areas with concentration of tribal population with low female literacy and a large number of girls out of school. Concentration of SC, OBC and minority population with low female literacy and a large number of girls out of school. And areas with low female literacy or areas with a large number of small scattered habitations that do not qualify for a school. Any questions?
Yes ma'am, I have a question. What is the difference between Pulse Polio program and Indradhanush?
Both the schemes are for immunization. However, Indradhanush is to speed up the process of immunization and to achieve full immunization coverage for all children in the country by 2020. Any more doubts?
Yes ma'am, I have a question. What does ANM stands for?
ANM stands for Auxiliary Nurse Midwife. It is the grassroots level health worker available in the village. This is all about the programs for children in our country. Thank you.